Hi. Recently, I've been wanting to add more color to my drawings so they don't all look like pencil sketches. I started doing this by looking up random tutorials. Anytime I wanted to draw something and I didn't know how, I would look up a Procreate tutorial for it. One day, I looked up a tutorial for making clouds, and it led me on quite the journey. Here's the tutorial I used just in case anyone is interested. I'll make sure to link it down below as well. I followed the tutorial pretty straightforwardly at the start. Around the time they started adding yellow was when I went in my own direction.
Now select a light yellow color to create some light.
I'm out of here.
I just didn't like the intensity of the yellow, so I started to do my own thing. I checked back in and saw that they used an almost pure white for the highlight of the clouds and whatnot, so I did that and called it a day.
And I pooped in your toilet, cause you made me feel free, when my bowels were bursting with doubt.
Then I attempted to draw the clouds again, this time without the tutorial and in a different color. Side note, I think that's how you know if a tutorial is helpful, if you can change up the colors or use it to draw a different version than what is depicted in the tutorial. I really like my drawing. I love the pink and I like how my clouds feel fuller and less faded. I think if you're picking between the two, it might just come down to personal preference. However, I started to wonder if this was an artwork I could truly call my own. I know that you shouldn't post artworks from tutorials without proper credit, and you especially shouldn't try to sell an artwork made from a tutorial. I got curious and wondered at what point does an art piece become no longer from a tutorial and instead become something I can say is my own. I thought making something original might work best if I instead placed the clouds in a different scene. I wanted something that had clouds and my mind immediately went to sunset. I didn't have a set plan going in and I sort of just tinkered around with different ideas like having water or a beach before landing on the idea of close-up foliage. 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 I said it wrong again.
Foliage.
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 Foliage. Foliage. Nothing sounds right. Before landing on the idea of close-up plants. Okay. It's fine. The first time around, I did forget to add the glow of the moon, but that wasn't too hard to fix. I don't think it's all that bad for going off on my own. I like it. I think most people can tell it's made by a beginner, but that doesn't mean I have to hate it. Before we move on, I just wanted to pop in and say why this might look like beginner art. One, the clouds aren't really based in reality. Now, what do I mean by that? If we look at sunsets with a similar background to what I used, we can see that the color of the clouds look way different. Not to mention, if we look at a picture like this, we can also tell that where the sun is located will affect how the clouds are lit. I made the rookie mistake about not worrying where the sun was at while making this drawing. Later in this video, I'll cover perspectives, but to be fair, I didn't know anything about perspectives at the time while making this drawing. I didn't want the sunset to be the final work of this journey because at the time I could feel something was off and it just didn't feel like I was doing the clouds justice, which was the reason I started this whole journey. That's when the idea of a giant cloud monster popped into my brain.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique.
Something that was like a creature, a thing that wasn't entirely based in reality, so it might hide my shortcomings a little bit better. Then I added a little guy for scale, and ta-da! I was very happy to have this as an ending piece. I was proud to call it my own. But as I was scrolling through art I saved from way back when I attended middle school, I noticed something terrifying.
Oh no, this can't be.
It appears that my work wasn't as original as I once thought. I want to thank the Reddit community r/credit to the artist for helping me find the original artist, as I'm not sure I could have done it on my own. I highly recommend you visit that Reddit if you also need to figure out who the original artist is. I don't know how they do it. Not to mention, they were also able to find the original artist within a few hours of me posting. However, getting back to the problem at hand. Conceptually, I'm not sure if there's really a difference between these two works. The small person is even located in almost the exact same spot. I feel like if I told you I was referencing this artwork to make my own work, you wouldn't find that hard to believe. Even so, my monster is still different. There's always going to be something like this monster out there. But the amazing thing is that I'm the only one out there who can make my monster. No one else can take that away from me. Still, I wanted to try once again to make an original work. I knew I had it in me, and part of me felt like after all this time, I had something to prove. I started off wanting to do a purple sky. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do outside of that. However, I made sure this time to look up different references for clouds and purple skies so the colors wouldn't be too off. I went back and forth on this drawing because something looked off. I couldn't quite tell what was off, but I knew there was something. After trying to find images similar to figure out what was off, I can confidently say there aren't many pictures or drawings out there like this, so I guess that's a point for me being original. After asking for a second opinion, I worked on it a bit more, and this is what I landed on. I definitely think this is a lot better. It feels a lot more realistic. The solution that helped me the most was warping the clouds to better fit the perspective. I made sure to keep them the same length while bringing in the bottom width. Hopefully this visual will help you guys understand. I've tried to record this screen on my iPad before so I can show you guys, but it always ended up stopping the time-lapse and Procreate, so I haven't really attempted it since. Maybe I should look into a new program. I do feel like there is a lot of empty space, but I'm pretty happy with this drawing. I think the smaller it gets, the better it looks. And if you were just scrolling through social media, you would think not half bad. Coming from someone knowing nothing about drawing a few months ago, I think that's a great spot to be. My favorite part of this drawing is the colors. I really love them. I truly feel like this is nothing like my previous works and is something completely my own. I don't think original means better or is something that we need to strive for as people or as artists. Give credit where it's due and take notice if you realize you might have copied something. At the end of the day, while yes, my work might be similar to something made before, I definitely wouldn't have realized the coincidence had I not been scrolling through my old pen shortly after making the work. After spending time away, I think the pieces give off very distinct energy. While the original artist's work is full of rage, my work feels more ominous, less threatening, and more of a wonder. And I admire that about my work. If I'm being honest, I kind of love the monster artwork over the purple sky. I just love the energy it gives off. I think me calling it my own helps prove to myself that it is an original work and something I feel personally is my own. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Where do you guys draw the line with originality? Which of my works do you consider original and which ones miss the mark? I'm a learning artist, so I'd really appreciate your thoughts on this. Make sure you are taking mental rest as needed. Thank you for watching, and I love you lots. Ooh! That sounded attractive. Okay.